out on there as live. And while that is live, I'm going to share my screen and go to this Get Ride application and launch this. Okay, so what have I been doing? I took like a week and a half off from what's supposed to be my daily 1 hour quota of working on this code kata. But essentially, I didn't mean to launch the SQL server. Close you out. Essentially, I've been working on like this Get Ride application, hence Get Ride over here, in which, inspired by domain-driven design, I have a ride domain and an account domain. And honestly, I don't even know if this builds or not. In the ride domain, I have this notion of a specification as a library. Same thing for account. And what I mean as a library is I have a ride.specification that contains the high-level operations that kind of serve as the contract for what this ride domain is going to provide in regards to behavior, hence operations.fs under this ride.specification. And the same type of paradigm is shared with this account domain. Hence, there's a account.specification that exposes the operations module. And like I said, this is essentially the main behaviors that this domain is known for, such as querying bank cards that are supported, query bank cards given an account, etc. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to actually run, because I don't know if I actually had compilation errors in this, because it's been like a week and a half. But if it does, what's this? Oh, that looks good. So it looks like it actually compiled. If it does, then I can set whatever arbitrary pickup, 21 Jump Street, something like that. And I guess I need a J for jump. And then for destination, I could say East 99th, St. Clair. Okay. And so I can hit price, and it says 21 Jump Street to East 99th St. Clair, $5, whatever. And there's a little map that I have to wire up. This pay with, I enter in a bank card that I have registered on my account, and then I can hit request ride. Okay. Okay, so this is good. And so what's happening now is I need to check to see if this value is null. If it's null, then I shouldn't try to do anything with this, right? So this is no longer functional programming. This is object-oriented, hence C# inside my value converter for plate number converter. So that's something that I need to do a check for. So specifically, I say if value equals null, and I just say return value. Okay. And that's it. So hopefully I could try to run this again. I actually enjoy doing this, man. This is cool. I love, my OCD's taking over. Hold up. I love writing code the way that I imagine things. I love looking at code that's detailed. All the distractions are removed, so I don't have to focus on things that are not essential. I love working by myself. I hate working with people that have no desire of being good. All right, so that was my tangent. Anyways, so I'll go back over here, and I mean CLE to MIA. put in whatever, right? It's always going to be the same price right now because this is just mocked out data. Pay with, and I could say pay with MasterCard. Okay, and then request ride. When I hit request ride, it's going to say looking for drivers. And now I have another null reference exception. And how is that possible? I know why it's possible, because this is a option type of vehicle. You may have a vehicle, you may not. So specifically, I believe I need to do something like this. Option. Come here. Option, and then say vehicle. And this is it's a F# option. So I think I have to say something like F# option like that. Okay. And I like organizing my imports. So do something like this over here. Let's see if that were la 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 la. We say we'll say that this will actually have to be vehicle dot value plate number dot item, something like that. So then if we run this again, I actually like programming, man. This is cool. Now the question is, could this have been caught without running the entire application? And the short answer is, I think a lot of things are possible, but this is more focused on UI, and this isn't necessarily business logic. So is there significant value in writing an automated test for testing the value converters? And I would say if I wanted to successfully test the value converters, I would have to have them depend on the actual view models. And I just feel like that's too much overhead. I think it's okay for now to just rely on launching the entire application, and then whatever issues you find in the value converters, you just fix them one time, and it shouldn't reoccur again, because this plate number converter, any of these value converters, once you get it right, the file shouldn't change, right? This isn't a evolving value converter. It has a very specific focus, and it theoretically shouldn't change as long as the view model doesn't modify the property types. So I say CLE, I say MIA, and hit price, and then pay with, and I'll say Visa, and then request ride, and it says looking for drivers up here. And then it found John Roach, and then has the plate number of this blue 2016 Lamborghini Aventador. And then it says you're on your way, because I'm mocking out all this stuff. And it says ride ended. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Oh yeah, and there's also an account over here, so I can select a card and remove a card. And if I wanted to add a new card or register a new card onto my account, I could fill out the form and say that this is going to be a discover, and then this is going to be blah 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 blah. And you'll notice the type of validation UI or UX of pink and green. That's because I'm using behaviors in Xamarin Forms. Then set some expiration month, expiration year, security code, whatever arbitrary number, and hit add. And so now I have my Discover card in here. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? I want to update this ride ended view. So if you remember, if I go through this workflow, say pay with, say discover, and then request ride, looking for drivers. This is all what I'm mocking out. And then it's going to say John Roach. Here's the Lamborghini plate number or whatever. Arrives in 3 minutes. There's a call and the message button. That still needs to be implemented. Then it says you're on your way. So this ride ended right here. This is what I want to update. So specifically what I mean is there's this ride ended, and not sure where this is going to. There's a ride ended view model. Is this being referenced anywhere? It's not being referenced anywhere. Is this being referenced anywhere? It claims that it's not. And so I want to figure out where this ride ended is being navigated to, and it appears to be navigating right here. Ride ended view, and then I have this navigation dot navigate. So that's what I'm looking for, and it appears that the view model is already set right here. So this end of ride is what I inject into the ride ended view model. There's a fee, there's a driver, there's a destination. Okay. The driver, yeah, so I think I have what I need. So what I would like to do is in the ride ended, remember, this is this right here. I would like to basically, what do I want to do? One thing I want to do is I think I want to include that map, even though the map's not wired up. I want to do something like this. Take this map, and I want to probably throw that somewhere in here. Okay. That's the image. That's not map. Go back. Where's the map at? I don't know why over here. Okay. For some reason, my mind translated image to map. So this right here is what I want. And it doesn't know what maps is because that is a namespace I defined higher up, which is over here. So I need to include that namespace. So if I do that right here, and I think what I want to do is I want to divide this by 2. So this would be, I think, 160, and this would be 100. I'm not sure if that actually did anything. I wanted to divide it by 2 again, so that would be 80, and then this would be 50. And it doesn't look like that's really making a difference. This ride ended. I want to have think I want to have in here maybe a label that has the fee. So I could say label text, and then that could be bound to the fee that I have in my view model, which where's my view model at? Let me see. Ride ended view model over here. There's a fee that's of type price. So all this stuff is going to require a converter. So binding fee converter equals, and then I can say in here static resource, and then fee to decimal converter, which I need to define. And so up here, I can say under converters, I can add a fee to decimal converter and add that. Okay. And so then I could say public. What is going on with my, oh yeah, because the app is running right now. All right. So over here, I can say public, and then class fee to decimal converter. And then I say that's going to implement I value converter. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and implement that skeleton. And so then I could say, remember, I have a habit of not checking for null in C#. So say if value equals null, then I could just say return value. All right. Now what? Well, then I could say var fee equals value as, and then as what, Willis? Well, if we go over here, we see that this fee is a type price. So I can go over here and say price, okay? And that's in my getRide.core library. So now what, Willis? Well, I need to return the actual decimal value. So I could say return fee dot and then item, which is going to be the decimal. And that's what I want. So if I go back to my ride ended.xaml, then I should, I need to add a content view dot resources. Content view dot resources. Okay. What just happened? Go back. And in my content view dot resources, I need to reference a converter's namespace, which I haven't defined in my namespace is. So I could say XML namespace, and then I could say, come here, converters. And then I could say, is this going to equal to, and then somewhere in here I have converters. Okay. So under my content view dot resources, I can say converters, come here, like converters, and then I can say somewhere in here is a fee to decimal converter. And I can say that the key of this is going to be called feed to decimal converter. Okay. So I have my feed to decimal converter, and that should be the same thing right here. Okay. And that should just work. Now there's other things that we should probably consider with this label. So for example, I probably should, within the converter, I could probably, see that's a decimal, but I could probably do something like this where I could say, charged. I don't know. You could say charged, and you can have some bank card in here. If I do, what is it, string interpolation, I do $, something like this. And in here, I can have there's a fee.item, something like this, okay? And I can say debited. Then I might also say from, then there probably would need to be a bank card that I need access to. And so that may come from the parameter. So in my static resource, I could provide a parameter, and that would be a string. Can I bind to a parameter? I don't think I could bind to a parameter, or I don't think I could use parameter and bind to something in my view model. I'll check. But debited fee.item, and then I would like to say that var bank card equal parameter as string, like something like this. And then I would just throw that in here like this. That's what I would like to do, okay? The question is, can I do data binding on a parameter? So specifically, can I do, if I go to my right end of the example, like I want to say converter parameter equals, and I would like to say binding, and then this ride ended needs to this ride ended needs to have a card that's associated to the fee. And so this fee is just of type price. And this end of ride, yeah, so if I go end of ride, this end of ride needs to have a card associated to it. So this ride request, there's a payment type in here, which is a validated card. So that's what I need. I think I'm good now. So if I go back over here, I can say let mutable, and I could say payment type, or I could say bank card, because I think that's been the term I've been using. Bank card equals, and then I could just say, end of ride. Now is this going to work? I guess I need to follow this get bank card, okay? And the way that that needs to work is follow this convention over here and say that this is going to be called get bank card, okay? And so down here I say get bank card, and then I could do something like that, and then it's going to be Right. I should be able to say payment type. Okay. Now what? Okay, so you have that in here. Um, what I need to do is there needs to be a down here a uh-oh, what just happened? I need to add a bank card property. Okay. So this would be bank card, and that's where I use the private member variable right here. Okay. And is there anything else? Make sure that I have my notify property change in here. And I think that's it. So then if I revisit my value converter, feed a decimal converter over here, this parameter, if I'm allowed to do data binding in my right-ended XAML, it would be bank card. But for some reason, I don't think I could do binding on a converter parameter. So I could try to look that up real fast. And I wonder if anybody's watching my stuff. Nope. So if I do Xamarin.forms, I'm missing an A. If I do Xamarin.forms and then do converter parameter binding, then over here it says I'm currently trying to modify a list of commands, whatever. And they say there's a thread discussing workarounds. So it looks like there's no binding for that. So supposedly it's not supported. So now what? That means that if I'm looking at this, I guess I can just have two labels. Okay. One is fee, the other one is bank card. Okay. There's no converter parameter in here. And if I do that, this bank card goes away. And get rid of this right here. Now what? Well, this is feed a decimal converter for bank card. This needs to be a bank card to, I feel like I did this before. I thought I already have a value converter for a bank card. I'm looking in here. I don't see anything. There's bank card option to bool converter. I don't see anything. There's a bank card to, what would I call this? I'll call it a bank card to string converter. Okay. Which I need to define. Boom, 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 boom. And somewhere in here, I know I have a lowercase x. I'm looking for the code where I convert the 16 digits of a bank card to 4 digits with a lowercase x prefix. This is it over here. There's a 2 obfuscated that's in my common, and it takes a validated card. That's what I want. So this bank card to string converter is going to rely on this 2 obfuscated card function. So I'll, in my converters, I'll go ahead and add yet another converter, bank card to string converter. And I'll say public, and then say that this bank card to string converter is going to implement a I value converter. And let's call me. My phone's ringing right now. I'll get rid of my unused imports. And so then I can say if value is not equal to, no. I can say if value is equal to null, then return value. And then else I could say var card equals value as bank card. Okay. And I think it's called validated bank card. Or is it called validated card? Let's call it something. If I do validated card like this, and we have a hit. And so then I can say, I could say return what? Card, and then I could say to obfuscated card like that, and that to obfuscated card. Oh, I can't use a pipe operator because I'm in C#. I could say to obfuscated card, and I should just be able to pass in parentheses this card right here. Okay. And I think that should be okay. So if value equals null, return value. Var card equals value as validated card. And then I just return obfuscated card. So in my right-ended XAML, I have a one label that binds to fee. I have another label that binds to a bank card. I need to define an instance of this converters, and then say this right here, bank card to string converter, say x key equals bank card to key converter, something like that. Now what? Well, I think that should be okay for now. And of course, there's going to be some styling that I need to do over here. So I'm not sure what kind of style I should have. But I should probably have something in here. So I'll just say style. Uh-oh, what just happened? I'll say style and then what? Oh, let's just have style right here. Say target type is going to be label. Okay. Now what? Well, you got to have your setters. Your setter is going to have a value, or it's going to have a property value pair. So I should probably have the first one as property and then value. Okay. So it'll probably be text color, and then the value of maybe is orange. I don't know. And then what else? It's probably a font size. The value I could say is going to be 24 IDK. Anything else? I think that's okay for right now. So if we look at this, we have ride ended, and then there's a fee under that. And oh yeah, maybe we should have a margin. So here have property margin, and then we'll just have fives. Okay. Style. I need to set the key, and this is going to be the transaction style. Okay. So then down here, I can have for these labels style equals, and then within that I can have static resource, and then I can say transaction style, and it looks like I have to put this within double quotes, so something like this over here. All right, now what? I think that should be okay for right now. You have your ride ended, we have our fee, we have our bank card. You also probably need to have the pickup and the destination as the summary. So that can be accomplished here, where we say binding is going to be pickup, and then down here destination, and probably should be a, how did I do this in the await.xaml? I have somewhere in here, I do the same thing where I bind to a pickup and destination. Uh-oh, what just happened? If I do pickup, I don't have any hits in here. What about this request ride? Uh-oh, why is everything? All right, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. For the ride ended over here, I'll just say pick up. And then over here, I'll just say destination. This needs to have a K and pick up. Okay. And I can attempt to build this. What I really care about is seeing the fee and the bank card. And then I could put in whatever binding and value converters associated to those bindings for this pickup and destination. In the meantime, while that's building, I'll check my email. Okay. All right. So it built. Now launching the app. I like programming. All right. So sooner or later, it's going to bootstrap this app, keep it running, and then type in some arbitrary character, CLE to MIA. Price $5. We'll say that we want a Visa. Request ride. Looking for drivers. And then found John Roach. License plate number. Arrives in 3 minutes. There's a call message, whatever. And then says that I'm on my way. Okay. And then yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. I mean, yeah, it could be the UI can be formatted, but this is what I'm looking for. All right, so what else is missing in here? There needs to be a currency um, string format. So I think if I do string format, I should get a hit on that. Of course, I'll get rid of the caps, get rid of all that stuff. There should be a string format in here that I've already used. And it's not. Yeah. Okay, it's over here. So over here, hold up. How's this working? Over here, I'll take this, and then I'll go to my ride ended. And for, say, binding equals fee, okay. I should just be able to say this right here, string format, and then put in comma. Okay. In fact, F that. Hold up. I'm going to bring all that down here. This converter can go on the same line. And then I can just say over here, comma, string format equals this. And I think that should be okay. If I save that, that didn't update anything. That should have worked. So let me boom. And then the way they have it over here is they have binding, price, comma, string format. And then they close it with an apostrophe. So over here, I should have string format. And theoretically, this debited. Shoot. I think I know why. I think I know why. All right, so that's me tripping. I can't. That is a string, and it's not a decimal that I'm returning. So what I need to do is for this feed to decimal converter, I need to do something like this where I just have a boom. Oh shoot! I just need to add a $sign in here, and that's it. And that should be fine. And then I could do some formatting on the actual UI, so things are more likely. I'll just use a grid. So if I go down here, or I could just have everything centered. So what I mean by that is instead of using a grid, I can have another setter and say, and say that this is going to be horizontal options, say center. And I think there should be a horizontal text alignment. Maybe I should center that too. Okay. So then if I go back to my app, this app is blank. Relaunch the app. Okay, so now the app is launching. And run CLE, MIA, price, pay with, Visa, request ride, looking for drivers. And then it says John Roach, Lamborghini A1, B2, C3, arrives in 3 minutes. And then I'm on my way. And then, yeah. Okay, cool. And so this right here, I can probably format this in the grid and just be done with it. So that's pretty much it. I just got a disturbing text message. So I am out. I got to tend to some other things right now, but this ride ended up here. Let me see. let me go back to write.into.xaml, and not everything needs to be orange. So this text color over here, this can be dark gray. Or it could just be black. Or it could be whatever color I had. That's that special blue. Where's that blue at that I had? If I do something like that, it's this color right over here. So I could potentially change that to this blue. I don't like that. Last one was dark gray. If I just do gray, if I do light gray, if I just do gray, and I think I'm just going to be done with it. Last one is navy. All right, I'll just go gray. And yeah, I'll probably convert this into a grid, a 2-column grid, and that should be enough, I think. Something else that's kind of bothering me is this map over here. The margin left, top, right, bottom. I want the bottom to be 20. All right, that makes me feel a little bit better. And also, again, I'm going to throw this into a grid, a 2-column grid, but I think the fonts over here are too big. So if we make that 20 instead of 24, yeah, that looks a little bit better. And then I'll organize that into, again, a 2-column grid. So do all my tests still pass? Running all my tests. And all the tests pass. So I'm going to go ahead and check in my code. I should have hella changes in here. Commit. And there's 7 files. All this is on my git ride repo on GitHub. Okay. And so I'll just say that I say partial support for ride ended UI. Specifically, what did I do? I added bank card and added bank card label. That's pretty much it. And I'll just, yeah, whatever. Commit all and push. And that should be all set. Control Alt L is back to Solution Explorer. If I want to do Control Whack M, that is the Team Explorer tab. Control Alt L, back to Solution Explorer. All right, I'm done. So I might pump out another video later today, but I'm out for right now. Peace, adios. I'm available for hire. I'm Scott Nimrod. Bye.